Hi folks, welcome back to the Amazing Education channel. Remember, it's not about the video, it's about the ideas. And it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. It's just education. So, path to peace. What do we need? That's the topic today. So we need a path to have a peaceful planet. It's going to be healthier, happier, safer for everybody, less crime. So how do we create a situation where countries don't fight? Okay, well, the United Nations was a good first step. But what we need to do is avoid any monopoly leader. So having a leader of the United Nations, that's a terrible mistake. People say, oh, if you don't have a leader, you don't get things done. Well, that's not true, and leadership causes risk. So when you have a king, they think they're number one, and whatever decision they make, it overrules everybody. Then what do? They start wars. You have senility and bad decisions. People die. And if you have healthy, young groups of people who are tested for intelligence, tested for psychological stability, moral behavior, we can do this with modern science, folks. Have an improvement in the United Nations. And frankly, we don't need just the United Nations. That's a monopoly. We need at least 2 other organizations for international peace and cooperation to reduce our risks of trouble. And we also need many, many private organizations. So I'm not saying that these should be public and paid for by, well, basically taxation and coercion. No, they should be maybe supported by private industry. Could be one organization, and another organization that rejects all industry and only relies on charitable donations from philanthropists, humanitarians, and people who want a good planet, and therefore avoids the problem of mixing the money with the politics, hopefully. And it could even restrict, the amount of donations allowed per person, and even could restrict people that are sort of wealthy or own or control large organizations. You could have a restriction, just say, sorry, either you have to join a different organization, or your vote and your donations are not welcome or severely restricted, so that the average person, who many times has their rights violated by by the wealthy or the powerful, then has a voice in a global organization that is all about protecting rights, protecting human beings, and protecting the planet, which includes all the animals and plants that are that are not predators on us. And protect even the predators in a safe area, and put half of the planet back to nature. And we can just keep out of those areas, sort of like viewing from afar only, please, in many areas where there may be dangerous animals, or just take a risk. It's at your own risk if you want to wander into the tiger's jungle. So anyway, so we can do it. We can have a peaceful planet. Don't give up, and make friends internationally. Go to college probably in another country. So these days, when you go to a big university, it's almost required many times that you study in another country of your choice, and you get to make friends, and we have a much happier planet. And we need to do a lot more besides just that, but that's a good first step. It's a good step, and we can do it. But now the problem of the United Nations is, as I said before, it's a monopoly. It's controlled by, the wealthy nations, pretty much. And so they're going to cause trouble for the other nations. It's just inevitable. So, we need We need a peaceful neighborhood of countries and nations on the planet, and we can achieve it if we just take action and just go ahead and do it. It might be just an online system with the internet, and stop terrible leaders from violating human rights, and basically in the end have all countries, not have armies that are ready to attack each other. And just like the Canada and the United States aren't set up to attack each other, we can have all countries be so peaceful with their neighbors and reduce military to just basically mixed international group with very little power, and diminish that power over time down to the point where we only need just police officers and people that check that no military is on the planet. So going around and assuring that there are no leaders that are in power for more than just 2, 3, 4 years. After that, they can be retired with a good pension, but so that means they don't have incentive to take over territories because they're not going to benefit. And we can set up systems to do that. And when I say take over territories, I mean murder other people through war. And we can use the legal system. We need to bolster protection for human rights. Okay, take care. Thank you very much.